Hey guys, I just kind of wanted to share this with you. This isn't a computer video, this is going to be a console video. But this is kind of a console that's, or at least a variation of it, that isn't gone over too much, at least as far as I know. This is a, well, if you're familiar with the TurboGrafx 16, that's what it was called in America. In Japan it was a lot more popular and it was called the PC Engine. And what I have here is actually a recent acquisition, and this is like what sometimes referred to as like the briefcase model, and this is the, inside there's, well, it's not a PC Engine, it's going to be a Core Graphics, but it's basically an interface that lets you, if you already had, say, a PC Engine or a Core Graphics or something like that, and you wanted to get the CD add-on unit, this is what you get. And I'll open it up and show you, but I don't know, I love this thing, it's really neat. This doesn't seem to be the route, at least a lot of importers and people that want to play the system and import it take. Usually they seem to go the Duo route, and I actually have a Duo. I have an American Turbo Duo, and I have a PC Engine Duo R, which is the second revision of the Japanese ones. But anyways, those are kind of like, they're all in one unit. It was just one system, and it had a little flap where you could put the cards in it for the games, and then it had a CD. So it was an all-in-one. Where this is more of a solution if you already had like a PC Engine and you wanted to, later on you could get the CD add-on. There was something like that here in America too. It was really ugly and not nearly as elegant as this. If you had the TurboGrafx 16. Unfortunately, I don't have mine with me to show you, but I mean, the difference in them is bizarre. Like, I don't know. I mean, the joke is that like NEC had a stake in a plastic company here or something, because literally PC Engine is like this big, and a US TurboGrafx 16 is probably about as big as this thing, which isn't big, but it's like half of it is just empty space. But anyways, on the US version, you could get the CD add-on, and it like stuck on the back like a tumor.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor.
I don't know. Some people love it. I think it's horribly ugly compared to this solution, which was the Japanese version. And you can see it has a little handle. That's what sometimes people call a briefcase. The unit itself is an IFU30, and has, if you look on the side here, it has AV out, composite stereo, and then there's your jack for the power supply. Mine is a third party. It's not an official one, but it works just the same. Although what's cool about this one is I have had it RGB modded. So this system will output RGB for when I'm playing on my PVM. But let me just show you a size comparison here. This is a Model 1 Super Nintendo. And it's, you know, it's about as thick. It's a little bigger. I actually think this might be smaller than the Turbo Duo, which might be slightly bigger. So, yeah, it's really small. I don't know, I really love this thing. Here's just the controller that I got. This didn't come with it. I had this with my Core Graphics. I'll show you that right now. But yeah, here's the RGB SCART cable I have for when I'm doing RGB, and it just this is just kind of like a protective case, and there is the system itself. So I don't know, I just think this looks a lot neat. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the Turbo Duo and the Duo R, and you know, it's cool to have like an all-in-one, but this was just, it's a really, in my opinion, neat and elegant solution. You know, if you just had initially something like this. That's kind of what the games are like. So this is a Core Graphics. There was one before this called PC Engine. It's the same thing. It just came in a white shell, and this has an AV output on it, whereas the PC Engine didn't. And here, I'll show. There's a little eject thing. So anyways, this is what I had prior. This is a little guy here, and it only played the Who cards, and I don't have this region modded or anything, so it only played it just only plays the Japanese games. But it's not a big deal for me. And so that's like if you had something like this and then the CD add-on came out and you're like, oh, I want the CD add-on. You know, you buy this thing and you buy your CD thing and you just, whoop, it's a little bit awkward. And then there you go, and you have your solution. I don't know, I think it has a couple, well, at least one advantage right off the bat that I can think of over a Turbo Duo or a CDR or CDRX or something that's an all-in-one solution. And that is, if something on it goes down, it seems like, you know, it'd be easier to fix. For, let's say you have like a Turbo Duo and your CD drive goes out. Well, if you don't repair it yourself, you gotta send your whole unit in to get fixed. Or something like this, like, my CD drive died. So just eject it, you know, send the CD unit to get repaired, and I can still play Hue card games on it. I don't have to send the whole unit away. It just seems cheaper, like, or maybe these aren't horribly expensive, neither are these. You can still find them like sub $100. So maybe you have a double or something and just, oh, it's dead. You can just pop in the replacement part. Whereas with a Duo or an all-in-one system, if something on it breaks, you hear out the whole system. You're either paying a lot for a replacement, or you know, you send it to get repaired or something, and you're out a whole system for however time that takes. So you know, I'm not going to go into like big specific details on it. This is just kind of a cool overview, because I just think this thing is kind of neat. This is a super card system. This is version 3. What they did is you need these to play the CD games, and I think there were 2 before this, and there's an arcade one after it. It's just more RAM. So there's certain games that require certain cards. So some of the later games, this will play most of them. There's a couple that need the arcade card that are kind of, you know, more graphically intense games that need more RAM, but this will let me play the majority of CD games on this thing. But yeah, I mean, basically that's it. It's just, I just wanted to kind of show this thing off a little bit, just because it's the path that it doesn't seem like a lot of people take. It seems like people usually take the all-in-one unit, at least when they're importing. I don't know how common these are over like the all-in-one units in Japan, but I know here in the States, it just seems like people always go for like the Duo or the Duo R or whatnot. So I think this is a really cool option. It might even be slightly cheaper. Mine was probably the same cost because I had the RGB mod. So yeah, that's cool. There's something else I want to show you real quick, just as a quick comparison, because I can actually output composite and RGB at the same time. So I'll just show you a quick bit of difference. I mean, RGB on this system, you know, on the TurboGrafx or the PC Engine or whatever, really makes a difference. So I want to show you guys that really quick with a quick example. Alright, so here I have it hooked up, and I have it hooked up via RGB and through composite. Now the composite's going up to my CRT HD TV, the Samsung. I haven't turned on. And the RGB obviously is going over here to the PVM, which I haven't turned on yet. So it should output them both, and you know, so we can see the difference. I don't know how well through this not so high-end camera, but hopefully I can kind of show you a little bit of the ADV difference. Alright, so the CD game I have is Loom. And just, you know, off chance, if anyone out there has the manual for this game, please let me know. Message me or leave a comment. I badly need the manual for this game. Not badly enough where I'm going to pay more than what the game is for a manual, but I could really use the US manual for this game. I would be very appreciative. It drives me nuts not having the manual. But anyways, this is a US. This is the NTSC US version. It doesn't play without an adapter or a region switch. You are region locked. Since this is a Japanese system, it will only play Japanese HU card games. But the CD-ROM unit will play any region, and that goes for the US CD-ROM too, or the Turbo Duo or Turbo R. They'll play any CD. So just turn it on here, and see, cd-rom system, and then we got that over on the PVM as well, in RGB. So let's put the game in, and there you go. This unit's nice. It's had the gears replaced and everything, so this CD unit should be pretty much as good as new. And then we just hit start, and there it goes. So we'll get back once the game's loaded up. Alright, so here's the scene going, and this is through composite on my Samsung HD CRT. So this is a CRT, but just like I said, I don't know how well this camera can pick it, but just check out the details here. You know, those are trees and like a city in the background. There's a dock, and then we have the fire going here, and there's the guy. Now that's composite. Now we move over here to my PVM with RGB, and yeah, I mean, I don't know if the camera can see this, but the detail is so much better. The dock in composite's like a blur, but it's so much better on the PVM. Scan lines. Yeah, you can really make out the trees. Whereas over here, through composite, they kind of like blur into the background, into the city. It's just kind of gross. Yeah, that dock is just, I don't know, but I could just definitely tell the difference. But anyways, yeah, so that's just a really brief overview of this thing. Briefcase unit, kind of cool. Seems like the road less traveled here in the States if you're importing PC Engine. You know, it works great. It's worth a look. You know, if you can't find a Duo or a Duo R or whatever, or I don't know. I kind of like it better. I don't know. It's a little bit, you know, it's not an all-in-one, but I don't know. I kind of like it better. Can't really explain why, but yeah, it's worth checking out if you're thinking about importing PC Engine stuff. So, thank you for watching. Hey, what the heck? Well, it's out. I think this is called Samurai Ghost or something like that. So it's a Japanese cue card game. So, like, I mean, if I ever do like a proper review on these things, obviously I'm gonna do like direct capture, but this is just a cool quick way to just show the difference between composite on this thing and then what I'm getting with RGB out of this PVM. So okay, so yeah, here's the title screen. I get like some of the text, like Namco. It's all kind of blurry. And then over on the PVM, man, it's just, it looks perfect. The M, it looks like an M, you know, or over here it's just, the M's a blur mess. So yeah, okay, well, enough of this. That, you know, again, just a quick look. But again, okay, I'm really done this time. Thank you guys for watching.